20 sides to every story. My name's Casey. Tonight we're going to be playing some Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition. And I forgot to mute myself. Sorry. Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition, and we are working our way through the Chosen Sons of Set, the second module piece to the Dark Tower, the upcoming original Adventures Reincarnated release. And Pruno, thanks for the cheer. The party has done it again. I'm like, hey, the plot's over here, and they're like, we're going to hop off that railroad and go over here. So what that means is, while I thought we were going to be playing the Pocket in the Shroud, which would take place in the lovely town of Thinis, instead we're here in Mugdad doing the Coils of the Serpent. Which is one of the other of the pieces. So, a little bit of prep work off screen, and we are now good to go. A couple of notifications. Andry will be unavailable due to a hopefully lucrative work schedule coming up for them. So we have rewritten history just a little bit. The party spoke to Zog, the trader and merchant standing outside by his wagon. As they were heading north towards the south gate, a small pack of griffins descended behind the hills. A hobgoblin came running up to alert Andry to trouble with the griffin cub. It's maybe starving itself because it did not have him around to feed it. Andry, feeling responsible, ran back, hopped off on a griffin, and took off into the sky. That caused Rob and Russ, the two guards at the gate, to be so dumbfounded when Dahrian, Blitz, and Tahir and Tann walked up that they just managed to stutter out, we're going to need to confiscate your silver. And that's where we're going to kind of shift realities a little bit. At that point, Zog has kind of come up behind them and said, well, now that you understand, how about you come on back and let me buy some of that silver off you instead of having to have it confiscated. So that has given the party a chance to kind of walk back from the gates as the guards are still looking off in the distance at those griffins, talk a little bit more with Zog, and see where things are headed. To give everybody a little bit of a what's going on and what does the world look like, we've got the new map up. We are going to be down in that wagon area. And as you were approaching the southern gates look a little like this. And a second here for the folks at home. There we go. So the guards at the southern gate are wearing their serpent emblems rather proudly, and that does definitely look to be a set style motif that you're seeing there. Two camels purchased by Andry are kind of looking around confused because they didn't get taken away by the griffins. So you've got a couple of horses and pack animals that you can deal with, but at the moment, the person of interest is probably Zog, as he's kind of beckoning you over, offering you to sit back down. That was unusual. We don't see many griffins around here.
It's rather complicated.
I imagine.
Oh, I don't believe we've met Tahir.
Tahir, wonderful to meet you. I am Zog. Z-A-W-G. Zog.
Wait, what's your name again?
Now.
All right, Dog. So why do they want our silver?
Zog. Well, since the takeover, all silver is to be confiscated and offered to the pit. Skabet has announced that, maybe a week into her rule. I prefer money, so I've set up shop here outside of Skabet's rule within the town, and I offer to purchase silver from those who would otherwise have to have it confiscated at the low price of 1 gold piece for every 20 silver.
Really?
Yes. Charitable,
So,
I know.
This is a generous exchange rate.
For him.
So, Why?
Because.
It's not really an answer. It's like I can say, I need to confiscate all your platinum because I need to put it in my hole in the desert. What does that mean? What's the pit?
I mean, that's.
You know how hard that we work to get our fine silver, if we had silver, in our possession?
Well, I imagine you worked quite hard for it, which is why I'm willing to offer you such a generous amount.
What is this pit?
The pit? Oh, well, some time ago, when Skabet was relieving Tharikda from his management position, she employed a fairly large serpent. That serpent now occupies the pit. It was once used to create the salve, the balm that we used to sell here, but it's now fallen into decay, I suppose you would say. It is the lair of the beast, and offerings are made to it, including silver.
What other offerings?
The sort of offerings one normally gives to a giant serpent. Meats.
Like these two camels?
Occasionally camels. And occasionally those who would go against Skabet.
Who would do such a thing like that?
Well, the Rikad, for one. He's been causing trouble within the city, and as I mentioned, Skabet has offered 100 gold pieces for his capture, alive or dead.
And that bounty is still open? Has anybody attempted?
Well, her guards and minions attempt it quite often, but they are not entirely popular amongst the citizenry. I myself did not suffer terribly under the Rikada. Tharikda. I'll do it never the same way twice. Under Tharikda, but some fared better, some fared worse. There's been rebellion within the city, both to rise Skabet into power and now for those who would contest it. Now, your friend, I noticed, wore regalia, not regalia, that would be if he was a royal, wore his symbols rather openly. You seem to have better sense to at least tuck some of them away, but I assume you are not followers of Set.
No. I am a follower of, I guess you would call her Nut.
Ah, of the evening. That is not in favor at the moment. I would recommend keeping such symbols to yourselves. If any of those are made of silver, I'll be willing to trade you at half their weight in gold.
Yeah, no, that I would not give up my symbol of faith under any circumstances.
Then if it is silver, I don't know that you're going to make it through the gates. He gestures towards where the two guards stand. And the guards are just kind of relaxing. They've had people come up and back, and you've seen others make this trek as you were making the approach here. Now, my offer to recover Tharikad. Sorry.
Easy for you to say.
It is. Why can't he have a name like Zog? Nice and
Just
simple.
call him Terry, dog. Just call him Terry.
Terry. TCAD is
Cleric.
Ooh, even better.
TCAD. Tharikad, excuse me. Would earn considerable favor with Skabet and open many avenues within the city. Now, if you were willing to accept this proposition, there might be other ways into the city that wouldn't be as obvious to the guards. I would still encourage you to sell me your silver, as you don't need to be carrying that around and causing trouble if noticed.
But with silver being confiscated, this is just a question on how things work. Is everything pretty much priced in gold and copper then? Is that how this works?
The silver is offered, and Skabet loves gold and gems. So those offerings are given to Skabet. Copper and silver are considered an insult to her. The silver is cast into the pit as an offering to the serpent below. And the copper is, I think, just beneath her.
Where does Electrum fit on the scale?
The devil's coin. Rarely seen in these lands.
There's silver in it.
You'd be hard to... Never mind. You sure you don't want... Okay. Okay, fine. Sure.
Are you really sure you don't want Electrum?
I mean, I went through many of the great banks in the nation, and no one would take my Electrum pieces, but it's fine. It's no matter.
I mean, I'm willing to buy the Electrum off of you if you wish. We can have it melted down and separated into reasonable coins.
I wouldn't want to burden you with this trouble. It's a burden I wish to bear alone.
Oh, that Electrum.
So much Electrum.
Well, I don't even know what I have in terms of silver worth.
According to my visits to the bank and the refusing of the accountant to actually put things in actual gold stuff, I have 22 silver pieces.
19.
Okay.
34.
Are we really gonna give the schmuck our silver?
I really don't want to, but it's also like, is it worth arguing over?
Listen,
and Zog sort of like puts up one hand as he puffs on his pipe. He says, "I am not here to enforce Skabet's rules. I'm only here to offer you the opportunity to relieve yourselves of that burden."
listen. Go ahead, Blitz. Sorry.
126 silver pieces, but I object to the exchange rate. It is exorbitant.
Yeah, you do have more of a reason to reject the exchange rate.
And he sort of looks over at you and he just like shakes his head sadly. I'm sorry to hear that you've brought so much. For you, at that rate, how many did you say you had there?
126.
126. I'll round up. I'll give you 7 gold for it.
Blitz, you've never had this encounter before in life. This is what we call a swindle. He's trying to cheap you out of your money. Do not fall for his tricks.
Would you throw in some food for the camels?
Now you're talking.
It's sort of like looking at the 2 camels that you just purchased from him. He looks over to the fodder of food that he no longer has camels to eat. He looks over at you and he says, "You're a shrewd negotiator. You've got it." So he exchanges that for you, and then just like leads you over to where the fodder of food was sitting there, abandoned by the camels before. The camels are just like, "Oh, we're back," and start eating.
We'll make a salesman out of you yet.
So Blitz, please go ahead and remove the silver. Add yourself 7 gold. Now, the silver, of course, if you get into trouble, just hide it away. Toss it down the sewer. But, don't let them catch you. Otherwise, though, the
Do all,
guards...
all sewers lead to the serpent?
No. Sewers lead outside of the city. Up until recently, that was the area that produced our fine unguents. It's not a sewage pit.
Find what?
Unguents? Salves?
I don't think I know that word.
Balms?
Oh, okay. That word I do know.
So it's through these sewers that we can get access by bypassing the guards? Is that what I'm understanding?
No, I wouldn't send you through the sewers unless you really needed to be discreet. No. There's lesser known paths into the walls, but before that I would want some commitment on your part. Being of the faiths that you are, I'm willing to accept your word for it. That with that you will make some effort to capture the Ricta, return him, dead or alive, and receive your 100 gold.
I don't know, guys. It sounds like a lot of money that we could really use in our endeavors.
And we do this for you? Are you the one with the bounty, or...?
No, this is Skabet's bounty. I'm simply helping to find adventurers outside of the influence of the city. Others might not be trustworthy.
So just a question. Assume that we accept your offer, and I'm sure we would have, you are the one who recruited us.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume that the 100 gold pieces would come from you, and there would be something more that you would be getting from the authorities here. Is the 100 gold pieces negotiable with you? I'm sure you're not recruiting for free.
No. I'm opening avenues for myself, earning Skabet's favor in ways other than paying her outrageous sums of coin, as most of the others in the town need to do. I'm providing her a service, and have actually managed to receive that offer of gold from her.
What would the time frame be on this job?
I think before anyone else did it would certainly help. And that is a bit the trouble. You see, in town there's sort of a quiet war going on between Skabet's people, the cultists of Set, the followers of the Rickard, and those who are just upset with the situation. It's rather complicated in there right now.
Sounds like it.
And therefore, I look for unaligned individuals, swayed only by gold and perhaps morality, to assist in quelling this, bringing peace to the town.
We could accept it just for the sake of accepting it, and then that way, like, if we for some reason need to run into him later, or like if we decide to change our mind later, then like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was
Don't worry, I got what you're trying to hint at.
Okay.
I'm more interested in what Dog said about the cult of Set. I mean, hey, if these are Set worshippers, maybe they have more information where we can find some of those pesky sons of theirs.
Mm-hmm. And that was something I was like, I don't really want to help a son of, or not a son of Set. Well, I don't want to help a son of Set either. But like, I don't know if I want to help
Set to kill the son of Set. Bam.
Oh.
The group telepathy gesture is very nice. I appreciate that.
It would seem that if the Sons of Set, or I shouldn't say Sons of Set, the Set cultists, if they are the ones ruling this town, it's highly likely that the guy that we're trying to find is the good guy. Or not, at least not the bad guy.
Well, based on who currently is in charge of the city, it definitely would be as such. Also, they did kind of say he was a dick, in a sense, and I guess we really won't know until we talk to some of the locals. We just say, sure. Yeah, sure, yeah.
The guy?
Terry, yeah, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if we just... Go ahead, Tann. Sorry, I didn't mean to bump into your mind link.
No, you're okay. I bumped into yours. But I was gonna add on to that thought, and honestly, we can negotiate later, because once we have the guy, we have the power of the negotiation, because right now we got nothing of offer, so if we're like, yeah, we got this dude and we decide to go through with it, we could always argue for better. But nothing wrong with accepting it, and if we get it, cool. If we don't, then I currently don't see the bad or the good in the situation besides just helping someone who is not upset. So, there's that.
He keeps staring at us.
All just been standing there rubbing your temples at each other for like 5 minutes.
Oh, I'm also kind of curious. I mean, he's paying us gold to get his silver. Is his silver's get confiscated as soon as he enters, or is this just some fuck who's fucking with us?
Does he even enter?
I don't know. Do you enter the city?
Not often these days. And he gestures to his tent, and he's got a nice setup. You could camp out here for a while.
No, it's just a little weird that you're taking our silver at a very, as you call it, fair price to then just give it away.
Oh, I wouldn't give it away.
Well, you're giving it to the serpent.
No. I make runs to other cities to exchange it. That's why I must ask for such a rate. I must travel quite some distance, then pay a money changer there, return back here, and make very little profit. Very little. And you look at him, and he's, nice and plump, sitting in a... He's got his camos, very little profit. Puff, puff, puff on his expensive pipe.
I believe him.
I absolutely believe him in this regard.
Yes. I do not. But...
What do you think, Blitz?
I do not trust him.
Well done.
That was great.
We'll throw a rare actual inspiration. Blitz, please take 1 point of inspiration for being that quick.
Well, what do you think, Blitz? You seem the most straight and narrow of all of us. All of us are corrupted in some way except you. Should we just give this schmuck our silver, give it to the city? Or just have myself teleport in, or just say, fuck it, I don't have any silver?
I have already agreed to give him my silver, but I wonder if this town might be run by lichens, or some other thing that is vulnerable to such metals. Perhaps I shouldn't have given them over so easily.
Lichens, like mountain fungus? Is it a fungus or a
Fungus.
or greenery? I heard lichens.
Perhaps I meant to say lycanthrope.
Lycanthropes?
So think of So think of like you, Tann, but kind of not like you. Like they do the whole transformation.
Oh. Well, no, it wasn't the lycanthrope that confused me. Because when I think lichen, I think of the plant that sticks to rocks. That's where my mind went.
Do you think Og is also communicating with someone? He's awfully quiet.
He's just puffing on his pipe, just watching the oddities happen.
I think Cog might have an idea of how things are truly ran around here. I mean, I don't trust the guy who just sits right outside the town, giving you all the town rules before you even enter the town. I mean, he could just be some random guy who's just here to take our money.
That sounds exactly like what he's doing.
Exactly. So, What do I do with my 22 silver pieces that are worth nothing to me?
We could stick him under a rock and come get him later.
Where's your sandcastle?
Behind that rock.
I'll be right back.
Wait, take mine! Gives you some silver.
A few minutes of digging later, you've now got a somewhat inconspicuously hidden trove of silver. Please go ahead and roll a deception or stealth, your choice, as you try to hide your trove.
I'm gonna say stealth.
I can assist with that.
Hey, I really gotta use the bathroom over here. Give me a second. Yep. Just gotta go to the bathroom. I can't do it alone. Can I have a friend watch me just in case? I'm just a poor, measly wizard who's very scared.
They don't
It
call him
would-
the
fight
Wiz for
himself.
nothing.
Yes.
It would really suck to be robbed while you're going whiz. I will follow.
This is great.
Stealth with advantage.
I'm glad to have such a great friend watching over me in these times of peril.
Pair of 14s, that's pretty good. Yeah, you found a spot that looks like you would be able to find it again. You dig your little hole, put that back in, fill it back up, you know.
I fear our force of forward momentum flew away on a griffin with Andry.
Maybe.
Nah. What's wrong? The gates are just right there.
Zog's sitting back there with Dahrian and Blitz. He's like, you know, it's funny how many people realize they gotta get their silver confiscated and immediately get the runs. Weird.
Right.
He's just puffing on his pipe, just
like as we're digging this hole, we're like, oh hey, someone else's stash. Should we just like scoot it over?
move that out of the way.
I'm keeping my 2 gold worth of silver, and I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
Got it. So little silver cash deposited. Party gathers back up. Zog sort of so about my offer then.
Well,
Oh,
Cog, we will see what we can do. Can't guarantee anything as we are, but 4.5 measly travelers and 8 horses and 2 camels, and we will try our best.
Well, how about I do this for you? I can.
Well, you've done so much for us already, Cog.
Zog. But what I could do for you is I could have my men here show you the way in that's a little less obvious. They'll take your horses and camels out, take a little walk around, bring it back in, and then we could have them stabled for you in town while you make your way there more clandestinely. The guards are somewhat aware of the nature of smuggling, so they sort of turn a blind eye to us escorting horses and camels and such. But I would want a commitment from you, should you come across the Ricta, that you will deliver him to me, and not attempt to claim the bounty yourself, the Scabit.
Go ahead.
I think that sounds pretty. I mean, I think that sounds fair.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the word sketch as fuck, but that works too.
Yeah.
This whole situation is sketch as fuck, but I mean,
Yeah.
We'll work with what we got.
On my honor as a wizard, I will not personally be the one responsible to take them to anyone other than you. They will go straight to you on my authority of being the wizard. If I come across Thoricta, I will try my best to deliver him to you.
You're emphasizing your pronouns in a suspicious manner, but
It's kind of my stick.
You seem honest enough. So,
I will say if I will not seek the bounty from anyone except from you. I'll say that.
Sounds good. And with that, Zog will and his men will assist you in getting your horses, camels, and such ready. They say what we're going to do is we're going to walk kind of west and around. We're going to take the camels and the horses all the way up to the northern entrance. There's another path that comes in from the mine. There are passes that can be used to get in without having to pay the tolls. We're going to use one of those to get your horses and camels in under the guise of pack mules. The guards don't really ask, we don't tell. We'll stable it in the Sandstorm Inns barn, and that is where we suspect you would find sign of Thericda. Thericad. As they're known to be troublemakers there. Now, as we're about halfway around the building, we'll indicate some stones. You'll find a tunnel entrance there. If you go into the tunnel, it does wind and there's a few squeezy bits, but smugglers have been making their way into that into the town from there for generations. Once you show up in town, head east and keep an eye out for the tavern. Shouldn't be able to miss it.
Is there...
It's the Sandstone Inn?
Sandstorm Tavern.
Storm.
What's the beverage of choice?
At the Sandstorm? Beer.
It's in the city. Beer is good.
For the tunnel, is there any like, I know you mentioned it's been used for generations, so is there any word or any gesture that would be beneficial in like passing through to show like mean no harm, or like, or to show that you're like okay being there, or is it just kind of like
some sort of cans?
Don't ask, don't tell type of thing?
Those that you're likely to encounter will be thieves and smugglers, so I don't know if there is such a thing.
Okay. No honor among thieves?
That would be for the thieves to tell you. We're honest guards.
True. Wait, I thought we were talking to Zog.
Sorry,
honest guards.
Zog and his guards.
I was like,
honest
wait,
guards and merchants. Sorry, honest guards and merchants, the three of them.
Honest guards and merchants who know smuggling tunnels.
We know of them. We don't use them.
Telepathy! My head was on my temple!
Sorry, I missed it. I was looking other directions. And so, they give you some time to get your things together, to get organized. They get the any gear that you did not want to be immediately on you, onto the horses and camels. They begin the walk around to the far side of the city. As they reach the spot, they sort of give you the gesture, hey, it's right over there, and you can see the little outcropping of stone. You duck behind, kind of while covered by the horses and camels. Horses and camels continue on, and you find yourself looking at a small outcropping. There's kind of a bit of sand you've got to work your way down and into, squeeze through a little cleft in the stone, and then it's quite dark. For everyone who can't see in the dark, which at this point I think is everybody. So I think everyone has a way to see in the dark.
I have dark vision out to 300 feet.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and give it to everybody in the group. I have that. What's the feature that I have? It's called Eyes of the Night. Everybody would have dark vision out to 300 feet for 1 hour.
Sounds good. And as you kind of come down in there and you get underneath, you can feel as the temperature shifts from the warmed stone that gets hit by the sun into the cooler stone in the depths here. You're kind of traveling through little splits in the rocks that must have been dug out at some point in the distant past and then sort of daub mud cemented up to create these little gaps. So you're kind of going from little rock cleft to rock cleft with little bits of sand in between. In places you can see where the mud and cement is kind of broken down, so sand is sort of spilled down in those areas. And you can see where patching has been done, you know, year after year. So this is a very old tunnel you're working your way through. There's a couple of sections that are fairly tight. You end up kind of having to squeeze, you know, climb up a little bit to slide down and make your way through. It's difficult to tell how far you've come. It's been at least 1,000 feet of tunnel traversing underneath. So it's been winding back and forth, doubling around. Sometimes you find yourself working your way around one boulder just to move forward 5 feet, and then come back around again. It's very windy and twisty. But eventually you come to a bit of an open area where it must have been an arch of some sort, an overhang of the stone that has now been fairly thoroughly dug out. You know, it opens up to a 40-foot or so round room. And then on the far side, you can see where you're headed. There's evidence that there's been, you know, small fires and other camp that's been done down here, but the air is very close. There's not a lot of things moving, so you certainly wouldn't want to light something smoky in here. As far as the party is going, what is the marching order that we have? Who's in the front, who's in the middle, who's towards the rear as you come up on this, we'll call it a cave, even though it's more of a, you know, just a little opening there.
Blitz will probably take point, I guess. I don't know. Might be the.
I was going to say,
is he the tank now?
You or me?
Yeah. Or yeah, between the two of us. Yeah, there we go. You do have one more hit point. Maybe you should go first.
That's right. and I have good plate armor on, so
nice.
Yeah,
whichever Dahrian is, Blitz will be the other, so we can end cap with the hard bodies there.
That works.
All right. And are there any skills being deployed as you're doing your spelunking that I should know about?
I'd just be keeping my eyes peeled, perception for anything that seems out of the ordinary, or, you know, noises, things of that nature.
Sure. And what is that passive perception of yours? I know it's a mighty high one.
Passive perception is 23.
Whoa, that's a crazy perception.
Wow. I might, I don't have any, like, spells or anything that would assist with it, but maybe as they're walking through, Tann would probably kind of give hints and tips on how to, like, step more quietly as they make their way through the tunnels. So, like, implementing stealth if possible.
Sounds good. And can I go ahead and see a stealth check from you there, Tann?
You got it. And the advantage is because of the boots, just...
You got it.
As a reminder.
Right. So as you're moving along, either or neither of you are surprised as you spot a creature coiled up on a little ledge. Well, we'll say it's a little ledge for it. It's a big ledge for you all, up towards the top of that cavern wall.
Oh my god. Is this a dragon or something?
That's
It's
a Tahir.
serpents-like. Tann has identified it. Multiple clawed hands or legs. A bit like a centipede and a crocodile had a child, perhaps?
Two little goat horns down the side of the head.
Two little goat horns.
Telepathy. Do you
Very
think that this is the said serpent they're referring to, and they just try to put us down here to kill us? Because there's no way I absolutely believe he did this intentionally. Actually, reverse of what I said, forget that. What do we do?
It has not noticed. It has not noticed us yet, right?
You have both noticed each other at about the same time.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Gotcha. That's what you meant. For some reason. Yeah.
It matched the 23 for its stealth versus Dahrian's perception. You matched its 18 for your stealth versus its perception. So.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah, they both just kind of, so you just like looked in the same direction at the same time, and you're just like, oh. And it's just like looking down at like, oh.
Does anybody know? Sorry. Does anybody know? Does anybody know anything about this creature?
Hey DM, can I make an Arcana check to see what I know about Bahirs?
Sure, you can make an Arcana check to see what you know about Bahirs.
Other than the name.
Yeah. All I know is that they're a fellow fan of lightning and thunder, and that's about it.
So,
lightning
I
and
would
the thunder?
say that at some point in the past, those cruel children who used to tease you, Tahir, breath like a Bahir, used to yell that out about your lightning breath. So you know that they are a monstrosity of sorts, possibly distantly related to dragons, though no dragon would want to speak to that. But they are known for their lightning breath.
Do they have any sort of intelligence to them? Can they be talked to? Can they be calmed down, in a sense?
They do have a better than bestial intelligence, and you would know that it does run along the draconic bloodlines, so draconic would be the appropriate thing to attempt, but whether they can be reasoned with is arguable. They're on that borderline.
I have an idea.
We better do something quick.
And I'll say at this point, you've kind of like you're at the point where the first two of you can kind of just like come out into the room. The others are sort of lined up behind, and it's kind of up on the little ledge over there.
Well, they aren't dumb. What if we tried to... what's the word I'm looking for that doesn't sound weird. Not distracted is not the word I'm going to use. I'm not going to say woo either, because that sounds like the wrong word. Charm it, kind of. Charm it, that's the word. I don't have the spell, but what if I did like a... because I can make zappy hands and stuff. I can make like a sort of weird like Bahir dance. You know, I learned a lot about that when everyone kept making fun of me in my childhood. I really didn't appreciate it too much, but it's okay.
Okay. You're the wizard.
Or we could just go back the way we came and just go in the front door.
We could try that.
How big is this room?
So
Where do we see it?
The room's about a 40-foot hemisphere, so up about 20. Sorry, about 20 to the roof, about 20 in each direction. So 40 feet across, and there's 20 feet up.
And this is just kind of like an opening. There's like another passageway leading out of this room on the other side.
So basically, it looks like when they got to this point, they realized there was an overhang of rock, and they dug out underneath that overhang. So you've kind of got this curve of rock coming up, and then it gets kind of sandy, muddy, compressed over on the side, and the Bahir is up kind of on a ledge from that little ceiling of rock.
Okay. And it looks like the Bahir, as big as it is, would have trouble getting down one of these passageways.
The Bahir would definitely be squeezing if it was chasing after you.
We might just make a run for it.
I'm down to try.
I could just put it in a timeout hole.
Is it showing signs of aggression?
Yes. And is it possible that you can teleport all of us across the way, if need be? Down
And
that other hallway?
And as you're talking, Blitz, give me a quick animal handling or insight for the aggression thing.
To the hallways is all you need, not just somewhere in the city.
No.
Well, yeah, we could do either. Sorry, we could do either.
I mean, I can get. Let's see. Now you have to calculate spell slots. This will be called drain abundance of my resources.
And a player reroll has been redeemed by Leirelu. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as you're kind of considering Blitz, you're trying to get a bead on what this creature is thinking. And I think maybe just something about it is throwing you off. Like there's a little bit of electricity, static crickle about it that you just find either intimidating or enticing. You're like, I'm not sure which way to go with this.
I think it may be hungry. Perhaps we should give it some silver.
Who has silver?
Mine's buried in the desert.
Mine's by the piss hole. Dahrian, do you have silver?
I do. I did not give up my silver, but
What if he's like a toll man? Maybe he's supposed to pay the toll. What if he's just a bro? Is there any like skeletons of former smugglers sitting in the tunnel anywhere?
Sure. How about a quick investigation? There are the remnants of some others, but there's not much left of them. They have been thoroughly chewed and digested by something huge, crocodilian and centipede-like.
I don't think he worked for the smugglers. I think he just decided to make this his home.
I think we make a run for it.
I was gonna say the same thing.
On the count of 3.
Is it 3, 2, 1, go, or is it on 3, or is it on 1?
So
One.
as the party sorts
He
out
went
whether
into
it's
the word
3, go.
Go.
as the party sorts out whether it's 3, 2, 1, go or not, could we go ahead and have the party add themselves to the turn order to see who gets the jump on whom?
Remember to click my token.
9 is the number to beat at the moment. 8 is not a 9. 6 is not a 9. 5 is not a 9. Dahrian is apparently the only one who knows how to go on 1.
Wait, I thought it was 3.
You said 3?
So, where we are at the moment, you're just kind of clear of the sort of crack you've been working your way through. Blitz and Bowser have kind of spread out side by side towards the front, and then the rest of you are in a little bit of a line behind at the moment. Dahrian, you're ready to go. What are you doing?
How far is it to the other side?
40 feet total to the other side, and then you're into the crack on the other side.
Okay.
And we need to run within striking distance of it to get to the other side?
You would be passing below it. It's about 15 feet up at the moment. So unless it's got extraordinarily reach, it would have to move to start biting you.
Yeah. We set a plan. I'm busting straight forward with a movement and a dash.
Sounds good. Dahrian shoots across to the far side. Dahrian, as you go one way, the Tahir goes the other, skittering up off of its thing, climbing upside down on the roof, and then it just lets go with the first claws, the second claws, the third claws, until it's finally hanging from its back claws, the whole body swinging down, all the little claws turning towards you. Blitz, Tann, and Tahir. Its head is upside down, is looking towards you. Its mouth opens, lightning crackles, and a bolt shoots towards the three of you. as that lightning bolt is coming in, I will need you to make DC 16 dexterity saving throws.
Oh! I'm going to cast a spell.
Okidoke.
I'm gonna cast Absorb Elements.
Okay.
Oh, dang it.
All right. Everybody who did not pass is taking 57 and then start reducing by your appropriate saves.
Holy crap. I got to reroll for Bowser.
Holy mackerel.
Did you say 57?
57.
Holy crap.
He has 56 hit points, man. I got to reroll.
There's one player reroll to use.
Oh, can I use the inspiration?
Oh, you can use the inspiration. Go ahead and use your inspiration. That'll give you advantage. So use the inspiration first. So we'll give you advantage there. So the 16 would have made it. So yes, take half of the 57. So there's one player reroll still left in the pool.
My question is, do I use it?
I do not know.
I would say yeah.
I'm the wizard. I need hit points.
So my
There you go.
Nice.
Player reroll deemed successfully.
So because it's a weird number, do you round up or down? I don't remember.
Down.
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 Usually,
Okay.
I think.
That's the Absorb Element.
And just a reminder why mine is less. I have resistance to lightning and thunder.
Sounds good.
Oh, that's right.
And after having breathed its attack, the Tahir sort of sucks itself back up, pulling itself, doing its little crunch back up to the ceiling, and then it moves a little closer to the exit Dahrian is now 10 to 20 feet down in. Just kind of waiting there for you. It's now within striking distance, maybe 10 feet from the opening, baiting you to try and make the run. Blitz, what are you and Bowser up to?
Yes. He'll hit it with a... You're gonna hit it with a guiding bolt. Yeah. If I can find the dang thing, I'm gonna click on it in a second here. It's like I always forget what level spells are, and then I have to look at every one of the levels. Is that the second level or?
Guiding
Oh,
bolt,
it's first level, huh?
First level spell.
Oh, okay, easy. Bam. Oh.
17 is good enough. Will hit. 10 points of damage dealt. And
Excellent.
should the next person wish to attack?
Beam of crackling energy from Blitz's head there. And then the pup, I think he's going to heal himself and stay with me.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll heal himself. And we're going to try to go toward the exit as well, I think.
Okay. So your normal movement speed is about 30?
Yeah, I have 30 and Bowser has 40.
Okay.
But I think he would stay within 5 of me to do that protector dealie. He's a good protector.
Okay. You got it. So he'd stay within 5 of you, so you're kind of you're right on what would probably be the Tahir's outer reach. It's like watching you, like little claws snapping, waiting to make the lunge, but you're not quite within range.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Echo, the little cat, will go give help action to whoever attacks next.
Sure.
After the bolt, I guess, because there's already... So give advantage to 2 people, I guess.
You got it. What's Echo's flight? It's more than 40?
40 as well, I believe. Right?
If it's...
sorry.
Oh, did Echo survive the lightning bolt?
Oh, probably not, right? Yeah, that would be impossible. So no. Yeah, he's a scrap heap.
Yeah, sorry. Yes,
yeah.
You're
No, it's all right.
It makes the effort, but... one familiar down so far. Sorry about that. Blitz.
Right.
Tann. What do we got?
He's going to try to follow Dahrian's recommendation as quickly as possible.
Okay.
He's going to dash to try to cross and kind of follow where he's going. And that puts him at 70 feet.
Okay,
Because his base is 35.
got it.
So he's gonna pull up alongside Dahrian, and maybe along the way, because he just can't help it with his murder spells.
Alright, so just to double check, in order to get to where Dahrian is, you will have to pass within lunging range of the Bahir.
Ooh.
And if you were to continue on, you'd be leaving lunging range, which means an attack of opportunity would be coming your way if attack of opportunities work on you.
I'll risk it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I didn't. It would only be a Charlotte stride. But he'll just take the risk because he's been a risk taker these past
All right.
attempts.
As Tann moves to take the risk, you did mention a murder spell. We'll resolve that first because you would do that either on the way or as you're passing. What murder spell might you be unleashing?
I would like to do where'd it go? Just a guiding bolt, and I'll quicken it so that way it takes a bonus action instead. So he'll be dashing and then just like and sending it off.
You got it. And that's another guiding bolt that'll actually be at advantage because the first guiding bolt landed. So go ahead and give me the advantage attack. But a 15 will not hit the Bahir.
Oh, that's okay.
So
Worth a
advantage
try.
expended. And as you go to move past, the Bahir makes an attack. Its jaws open real big. And it attempts to swallow you. Does a 21 hit?
Egads.
Now, sometimes that would be a sarcastic question, but with this party, that's an actual question. Does a 21 hit?
Compared to everyone else, my AC is quite low.
Okay.
It's a 21.
21.
Shield is a +5. That puts me at a 21, so it still makes it. Yeah, alright, that hits.
Alright. You take 21 points of piercing damage.
Ah!
You are grappled.
Oh my god, that's quite the bite.
And then you are swallowed. You are blinded and restrained. Good news, you have total cover. Bad news is at the start of its turn, it will begin digesting you.
Oh, I should have done a Charlatan stride. Oh well. Okay.
Decisions were made.
Decisions were made.
Contributes to Blitz's hypothesis. It's a working one. That Tann is
Delicious.
exquisitely delicious. It seems like all the monsters want to eat him.
Tahir. Tann is inside the belly of the Bahir.
Oh, good God.
Son of a bitch. I'm going to cast a spell.
I believe you.
I've been holding on to this for so long. So great. It's wonderful. I'm casting a 6th level spell.
A 6th level spell, you said.
I am casting Transformation.
Tahir's transformation.
Tahir's Transformation. You're goddamn right.
Oh.
So as he gets hit by the lightning, it's just like the energy's coursing through him. Like he's tensing up, and he's getting like, for some reason, like he's a very skinny guy, very skinny wizard, but now he gets like muscles. Like he is a full-on built, cut individual. He gets 50 temporary hit points, an extra 2d12 force damage on all of his weapon attack rolls, and they're all at advantage.
Ooh.
Oh.
And the fire sword will be not ignited this turn because I still have to technically speak the command where I will use Blade Song.
Okay.
So, and whip is drawn, fire sword is drawn. That's my bonus actions. I am ready to go.
Alright. Tahir does a big glam up, and then Dahrian, the only one who's successfully stuck to the plan. 20 feet down the hall, you just hear like a whoomp noise, and there's no Tann behind you. What are you up to?
You hear in your head, like right before, just like, I tried so hard, Dahrian.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. I really don't have a whole lot against this guy. I guess it's just... I think we just need to put the hurt on it, I think. I don't really know here. I guess under the circumstances, I will... I'm going to cast that and move up on it and draw my weapon.
You got it.
And I will also bonus action, Steps of the Night. I'll take flight up to where it's connected to the ceiling. Away from its mouth.
Sounds good. And that will bring us to the Bahir. At the start of the Bahir's turn, two things happen. The first is it's going to roll a wisdom saving throw. It is going to pass, and so it is going to take half of 19 damage, which in this world is a number.
9.
9 damage there. And then it is going to actively digest poor Tann. Tann.
I just need to live a little longer, please.
6d6 at the damage.
Oh.
14 this time.
I'm still alive, but barely. I think I have like 10 hit points. Yeah.
Good lord.
Alright. That is then going to have the Bahir. Now, Dahrian has flown up a little bit out of reach. Tahir, did you move forward?
Like maybe 20 feet.
20 feet. So the closest to it at that point would be our metallic friend, I think. Blitz and Bowser, correct? Because Dahrian is up, Blitz and Bowser were about 10 feet out. So it's going to be Blitz that gets the attention first. Blitz. It is going to move past you, circle around, and then just draw in. And as it closes in, it's just all pointy toes coming your way as it attempts to constrict Blitz. An 18, Blitz?
No. Yeah, miss.
Miss. The constrict misses. It'll try to follow up with a bite on Blitz. A 23.
Shield.
Shield. And therefore, I think a miss. At the end of its turn, we'll see if it gets some lightning breath back. Not this round. So Blitz, your shield lasts but a moment, but it was a good moment. What are you and Bowser up to? The Bahir is now within reach.
Tahir, do you know anything of the anatomy of this creature? Where should I strike it to free Tann?
You hear him like just doing like an anime power-up stream. That's all you hear.
I understand. And let's strike. Actually, all right. I'm gonna move up next to it, right? Me and the pup. Okay, like so. Aha. Or well, I guess it's already next to us. It's next to us anyway.
Yeah,
it's traveling around, right?
Yes.
All right,
Close.
so. And then I'll hit it with Blitz will open his mouth, and a high-pitched, shrilly noise will come out in the form of a button I can't find.
Oh!
This one. A boom.
A boom.
Boom.
Oh, Dissonant Whispers.
Dissonant Whispers, yeah.
DC 16 Wisdom saving throw. Fails that one.
Yeah.
No DM rerolls in the pot. And Dissonant Whispers makes it run away? Am I remembering Whispers correctly?
Yeah, immediately as a reaction.
As a reaction. It does have a reaction
yeah.
left, so let me give it its 10 points of psychic damage there. That part worked. And then, there we go.
Just in case you need to read it.
Yes, please. Must immediately use its reaction if available to move as far as its speed allows away from you. The creature doesn't move any obstacles to the ground. So basically, at that point, it's going to run away. I will say it's basically hitting the far side of the wall and then moving about halfway up to get as far away as it can from you in that direction. And so it's kind of cowering over there at the moment. It's 30 or so feet away from you, but as it ran away, I believe it would evoke an attack of opportunity from you, Bowser and Blitz. And Dahrian, I will say you were up there, but it's huge, so you could probably get one into if you had something melee in hand.
Yeah, I have my flail.
Yep.
So
21's a big hit. 18's a big hit.
$14.
14 there. The 15 will miss. 19 bludgeoning damage definitely worked, though. Blitz and Bowser, anything else for you?
Is that? Oh, wait, that was a spell. Okay, sorry. Yeah, the pup. If he's still close enough, run up and try a regular attack. Is that a good idea? No. He'll stay back. He'll stay back and heal himself again. I think.
You got it.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's it. Sorry.
No problem. That is going to bring us to Tann. Tann, you are in the belly. You are blinded. You are restrained. But aside from those things, what you doing?
Can I still cast a spell?
If it doesn't require you to see or not be restrained. You are blinded, so as long as it doesn't say like that you can see. What spell are you thinking?
It's on myself. Could I cast polymorph?
I have no idea. Bring up the spell for polymorph and we'll take a look.
Oh wait, did I actually... Hold on, sorry. Wrong one.
Sure.
There we go.
Spell transforms a creature that you can see.
But it's like myself.
It
so
is
like,
yourself,
how does that work?
but you can't even see yourself because you're blinded. I'll say... Let's make it an Arcana 15. If you can pull off the Arcana at a DC 15, you can see the inside of your eyelids.
That works. Alright. Please. I want to try this.
You have really good dark vision if that helps.
5. Mistra is not kind and is like, no, it says you can see and you are blinded. That's not how that works.
I was hoping. Alright, what do I got that doesn't involve sight?
I'd look for anything verbal. Verbal only.
True. Is there a way to like... I guess it's in the notes, huh? I wish there was an easier way to like... Oh, there are filters. Oh my god. Where has this been all my life? But they don't have it for verbal. They don't have that stuff. Alright. Or for sight. Well, shoot. I put all my ducks in that basket, so... Wait, this could work.
Oh, what's
Hopefully.
that one?
Follow-up question before I say this. What does it take to drink a potion?
Action is to drink a potion.
Gotcha.
Unless you're a special kind of rogue.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay.
The chat says just punch it. Stab your way
Punch
out.
it. Okay, I will punch it. I will punch it with a... I'm gonna go big or go home. Oh, duh. Wait, do I have to see this too? I'm sorry, I know.
Take your time. You're doing the Drax at the moment. It's softer on the inside with your double daggers.
Yeah.
When you're about to be digested, time slows down. So
Yeah.
you're good.
I know, I'm sorry. I was like so excited because while I'm reading this, I'll tell you. I was planning to turn into a whale inside of the creature. Because I was like, don't give me my hit
Nice.
points that I need. But I forgot about the seeing thing. This
I wonder if
could
that would
possibly
explode
work.
it from the inside.
That's kind of what I was hoping for too.
Bark.
Yeah, because a whale is gargantuan, and this is something else.
Huge. This is huge.
Yeah. Okay. Could I cast Enervation from the inside?
Creature
I
you can
don't-
see again.
Dang it, how did I miss that again? Alright, I'll do Inflict Wounds. I just have
Okay.
to touch that.
Okay.
I'll do it at 5th level, because I wanted
Oh.
to do Enervation. Hopefully I can hit it.
You are restrained, so this will be at disadvantage unless you have a way to counter.
I'm inside it!
I know!
Okay. I don't think I have a way to
Okay, so
counter
disadvantage.
it.
The number we're looking for is a 17. A player reroll has just been redeemed, so you'll get 2
Oh,
chances at it
sweet.
if you need it.
Sweet. Sounds good. Cast. I'm taking the reroll. Yeah.
Okay, so a 27. So we got a 27 on the board. But was that at disadvantage?
Oh, wait. No, sorry, because
Okay.
I rolled once and
So
then twice.
So the first one was a fail. I heard you say you're taking the reroll, so we expended the reroll. So you've got
Yeah.
a 27, and you just need another one, which was a 28. So that will do. You do land the hit. It is not the crit, fortunately for
Yeah, I
the year.
know.
But that is
Still pretty close, though.
53 points of damage from the inside of the Bahir, which triggers its gag reflex.
Oh.
And it must
I
make
bet.
a saving throw. DC 14 Constitution saving throw, otherwise you're coming back up. And it rolls a 7. Tann, you're what the cat dragged in.
Hairball.
Tann, you are outside of the Bahir at the end of your turn, so you are good to go there. You are no longer blind, you are no longer restrained, but you're kind of gooey.
I hope my hooves scraped you on the way out.
Tahir, I think it's over to you. What do we got?
His power up is now complete. He may act
Oh.
now. I will use my bonus action to ignite the fire sword, and I'm gonna go straight to its dumb, stupid, dumb face.
It's dumb, stupid, dumb face.
2 attacks will be coming in, both at advantage.
Oh.
Can I do the thing? That's the wrong button, because I'm holding caps lock.
19 is a
19
hit.
and 27.
That's 2 hits.
So, that is 31. That is 31, 36, 42, 45 points.
It is much less of a Bahir, but it is still a Bahir.
And with his offhand, he will draw his second hand whip he got from a very grumpy monk.
Oh!
And he's ready to dual wield.
You got it. That'll bring us back to the top of the turn order. Dahrian, what do we got?
Well, first off, I'll do this.
That's,
Another 19 for the Spirit Guardians.
19 for the Spirit Guardians. Yep, that'll come around in just a second.
And I will... Well, I'm just gonna... And I'm gonna swing and miss him.
Okay. You swing and you miss. Dahrian, anything
Still,
else?
still flying.
Still flying.
And that, I think, is it.
All right, so I got good news and I got bad news. If it passes this wisdom saving throw, it will survive by 1 hit point. If it does not pass from this wisdom saving throw, it's going to melt. And it does not pass.
Nice.
The spirit guardians tear it down, and the Bahir falls. Static.
I move immediately to Tann.
Yeah.
Why does everything want to eat me?
Maybe it's because you walked right by it without a care in the world and said, I'll risk it.
I cared a lot, but I had so much confidence in my luck.
Perhaps the rock fight didn't quite sort you out.
Nope.
26 points back to you.
Oh, thank you.
Tann, I fear you may be delectable.
Griffins, rocks, and Bahir's oh my. The story of Tann Grisner.
And all the ways he can be served on a platter.
Well,
Man, that's.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that we almost lost you there, Tann. I think. Glad we didn't.
Thank you. The stomach acid is really stingy. And he's gonna kind of like kick his foot and like get whatever's off and just kind of like start like rubbing everything off. And he's like, Do I have a lot of spit in my hair? And it's just like all like.
Yes, you do.
Did you see a lot of silver pieces in there?
I couldn't see. If I could, some ideas might have changed. I really wanted to turn into a whale. There's not many opportunities to turn into a whale in the desert, but I was kind of looking forward to.
Well, if you do, I have a ring for that.
Oh, sweet.
So I will stay like this for about 9 more minutes, and when it ends, it's going to be very rough for me, is all I will put it.
Why? What happened?
Like a haste?
A little worse. I will be drained a little bit for the day.
Well, you look good.
Thank you. I feel stronger than ever. Also, by the way, I can't cast spells. And he does the motions for a firebolt. Nothing comes out.
Oh, okay.
But I can do this, and then he cracks the whip, and it just takes the Bahir's head off in like one swing.
A whip could do that?
Well, with the enhancement of magic, of course, but once again, will probably be another 8 minutes before this wears off.
Do Bahirs gather treasure the way dragons do?
I mean, you could invest a few minutes in searching about.
I'll check the exits.
Yeah, want to look around, see if there's a pile of treasure somewhere.
Yeah, I would like to help with that. Hate to hear. You're pretty fit, and he's just gonna go and start looking for treasure.
And I'll fly up to the ledge and.
Yeah, you do a little searching around. Could I get a quick investigation from you, Dahrian? You just need to pass a 10 or better.
Ooh, that is. And you were assisting me, right?
Fly up and help as well.
Yeah, you got it. Now with advantage. 13 is a 10 or better. And I don't have it in front of me at the moment, but would you roll a D100? You'd like to see a high number. A 10 is going to save me a little bit of time looking things up. You do manage to find some coin, but nothing beyond. I will get you the coin detail a little bit later.
Sure. Slim pickings. Slim pickings down here.
I'm sure you're doing a fantastic job.
As far as the other entrance, the crack continues to wind around again. You'd say you'd probably traveled another 1,000 feet or so in distance, but maybe not that far in as the crow would fly before you can see a little bit of sky towards the end. As you're scouting that out, you notice there's a statue standing squarely in the center of that opening. The statue is dressed in bronze plate armor, and it carries a massive curved sword, a khopesh. It's got a shield sort of hung down to its side.
I'm sure it's just a statue.
I have a strong distrust of the statue.
I don't think we've ever encountered a statue that was just a statue.
That.
You want me to touch it?
If you wish.
And like
I would like to try and move past it before he touches it.
Well, it leads to this. Go ahead.
Sure.
I'm going to move around it. Yeah.
And as you go to ease past it, I'll just ask for a confirmation. We're doing this while there's still about 3 minutes left on Tahir's power-up?
Sure.
Probably.
So congratulations, you've found your way into the coin word, one of the nicer, or was once nicer, parts of the city. But as you do, you realize that, yes, no, this is not just a statue. In fact, this is something with which you have become familiar. A minion of Set. As you ease your way around that statue, it just starts to swing its khopesh up and then bring it back down towards Dahrian. And we'll bring that turn order back up again for a moment.
Rats.
How did we know?
Yeah.
These statues.
Statues.
Rats. Is it moving or is it like stationary, just like chop?
It is starting to move. So basically, as you moved past it and kind of broke the plane, you just saw the khopesh start to come up, and then it's starting to twist around towards you.
I got an 18, but it didn't show up on the tracker.
Oh, give me a second. I'll get you thrown in here.
Thing with Tann, you gotta. Someone needs to click their token. 22 is good though.
I think I
did earlier.
I think I clicked on Tahir, to be totally honest.
That's
You
all right.
sure did. I don't think I have an 18. I think I have 12.
I did click my token
Let's see.
earlier, so I don't
There
know
we go.
why it decided I don't exist.
All right. And Tann was a
23? No, 22. No?
Dahrian's an 18. Tann
22.
is a 22. Tahir is a 12. And let's get this in order here. So that would be Tann with a 22 going first. You see the motion even before Dahrian gets a chance to react. You're a little further back in the passage, but not far. What's up?
Tahir, with your stuff, would you benefit from an enlarge? I was trying to find your spell to do this. Okay, I'll cast enlarge on you.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you
just
go
a question.
Go to cast enlarge, and Tahir like pops out a little cave like a cork and just starts to swell up.
I am uncomfortable.
So are we about to fight this thing kind of in the middle of the street?
It came
Or
out.
are we still in the tunnel?
So you're at the entrance of the tunnel, and you can see that this is kind of a sheltered little alleyway. Like this is obviously not a main thoroughfare, and this statue is kind of blocking up the entrance. And looking around, you don't see anyone. You can see the walls of the buildings on either side of you. There's no windows on this particular area, so it's a clandestine back alley. And Tann makes Tahir big. And then Dahrian, what are you up to? And you're kind of up and around here somewhere.
seeing this thing start to move,
Mhm.
the idea again was to try and get past it.
Mhm.
So I'm keep grabbing to here. I want to move up on it, and I suppose initially take the disengaged action to move out of its reach.
You got it?
And see if it's going to come after me or them.
No problem. And we'll have the answer to that because it is the minion of Set's turn. Now, it sees you come forward, and then it sees Tahir all swollen up and huge and flaming sworded and popping out. It's not an entirely unintelligent creature, so it will try and knock down that crazy threat first. So Tahir, it does move towards you as you have squoze your way out of there. It will swing its Khopesh at you. The first attack coming in at a 27. Hits. It sees that big fiery sword and it tries to take it away from you. Could have a DC 13 strength saving throw. You take no damage, but it tries to strip you of your flaming sword.
I think I have advantage and proficiency in strength saving throws with transformation and enlarge. Is that how enlarge works? I get advantage on the strength saving throws as well?
I
think so.
Get it on... Should be in there somewhere.
There you are.
I'm gonna roll 2d20 and add 3 to each.
Strength saving throws, you got it.
Yep.
I'm fine.
You sure are. The second attack...
I gotta make a concentration check. Fuck!
No concentration. It did not do any damage. It just tried to strip you of the weapon.
That's right.
You're
just
okay.
Try to strip.
It is going to try and hit you again, though. It gets to swing that Khopesh twice. A 14 isn't going to do it, though. And that'll bring us to Tahir.
Nice.
Flaming sword. The whip comes out. I am swole, and all I say, so this is how Andry feels.
20 and a 26 both hit. The 13 will miss.
And 2d4. So, math is happening.
Yeah, extra math is going to happen. It is resistant to fire damage.
Oh, alright, so...
5 plus 4 plus 12 is 21.
8 points from fire.
Okay.
8 points from fire, 25 from force, 10 from slashing, and 7 more from slashing. So, 17, 25, 50.
Yes. That is enough. You just cleave it, and it just falls apart, and it starts to dissolve down into the ichor of the fiend it once was. And Vapor One, or Eternal, thanks for the follow. And yes, the wizard muscles have been deployed.
I immediately don't trust this city.
Yeah, right.
They just got one of these things in like one of their alleyways.
Yeah, at least the other ones were hidden below ground at the other place we were. These are just out in the open.
Just out in the open, just a statue.
The other ones were also summoned too.
Speaking of the city, let's take a little look at what you can see. One moment here as we zoom out a little bit on our Roll20 here. Because now that you're in the city, immediately in the kind of alleyway that you're in, you're just seeing the kind of mud daub adobe style buildings. Walls are very plain, leading out to a little alleyway, and it's obviously sort of laid out this way that people coming and going here can just kind of appear and disappear without really being noticed, joining into these streets beyond. But as you move forward a little bit and peek away to the north, you can see on a rise the city palace. The palace itself seems to have taken a little bit of damage of late, but you can see that up on the top of the hill. And the directions that you were giving were to head up to the upper city, to the Sandstorm Tavern. To get there, you'll need to travel down this way, and then up this way through parts unknown.
And did I hear you correctly before you said we came out in, what was it? What ward? You said something.
The
ward?
Coin Ward.
Coin Ward?
The
Coin?
Ward. Coin, correct.
Okay.
And as you sort of make your way out of this little alley, you can then start to see, yes, this is a hustling, bustling city. There are people engaged in business. There are things moving back and forth. In the area that you're in right now, which, excuse me, is a ways down here in my little reference guide. The storefronts in the area on kind of the lower levels look to have been for precious metal, smithing trade, jewelers, that sort of things. Many of those stores are now shuttered, closed. A few of them have been broken into. You can see some have been looted. People are moving furtively about, kind of just trying to make their way from one place to another. And Galaxian has redeemed a player reroll. We'll get one added to the pile there. Thank you very much. Oh, it's a pile of 0. That's a desperately needed one. And so this is basically, jewelers, precious metals, a little bit of smelting would be taking place here, but only of the finest materials, not a smithing ward so much. But the upper floors of the buildings still look to be inhabited, but the lower floors look to have been looted or broken into.
Well, it looks like my time's about to be up with this. This is going to feel weird. He'll sheath his sword, and as his transformation ends, he loses all of his muscle definition. It just goes away. And I have to make a Constitution saving throw, which I succeed, so no exhaustion.
Ooh, nice. So are you able to cast spells then at this? Are you able to cast spells again at this point?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay.
I'm back to being a wizard.
You are a wizard.
I've heard this Bard's tale once.
And is
Well,
Good.
I was gonna say, where are we off to now? Are we gonna go straight to the tavern or look around the area?
I'd like to find out exactly what happened here. But it might... What time of day is it?
You're still early in the morning, so you're midday, mid-morning. You got here in the morning. You spent an hour or two fiddling about, so 11 o'clock maybe? Late lunch?
Are there any people wandering about, like as far as just townsfolk or anything?
There are some townsfolk moving about, but they seem to be trying to keep unnoticed. They're moving quickly from spot to spot. They try not to stay on the street. You can see a couple of folks, up in the upper floors, going about their lives, but they don't want to be down here on the streets. Could I get a perception check from you, please?
No, everyone.
Blitz at the moment, because he was trying to spot anybody who was lurking about. You don't see anybody that you would be able to catch up to without obviously chasing someone down.
In case it matters. Oh, alright.
I mean, Bowser's already found 3 kids and made best friends, and he's now wandering back out with like a flower behind his ear. But
if the locals don't seem to want to be running around here, it might be best that we get out of this particular area. So maybe go to the tavern, assuming that they would have rooms there and such. That's where horses are being stabled. Let's get some food and get a room or 2.
And a bath.
And a bath.
I wonder how the
Good idea.
removal of the Bahir might affect the economy of this place. Positively, I hope.
You'll just be without silver.
Yeah, that was something I was wondering when we spotted it in the cave, was how has this been used for so long, and that is just there. How'd that happen?
Oh
Sure.
boy, Tann, I have a tale for you.
Yeah, I think we were set up. But
Absolutely. Do you want me to go back and disintegrate them?
I think I'm
Or
okay.
perhaps he is as honest as he said, and he is just terrible at smuggling.
These are all possibilities. And as those possibilities are being discussed telepathically, off to the north, you can see something. The backs of several temples. You recognize some of them by their sigils and by the signs that they put up. And then past the temples, you see something bad.
Ooh, that's art. That definitely
wow.
is. Wowie.
That
You
looks
don't-
like a message.
In front of the temples, many signs of the serpent of Set's cult have been set up. Poles have been erected. Hung from those poles, skeletal figures, their arms bound, their robes still somewhat calling out the faiths that they once served. Most of the temples have been desecrated. Some have been burnt almost to the ground. The street that you're on continues to the east, going behind some of those temples. The main road that you can see kind of through the breaks between the buildings that would lead to the palace is flanked on either side. 6, maybe 8 such temples that once lined the main pathway have been destroyed. You could cut through behind them and come out to the main path. Parishioners certainly once have made those crosses frequently. But there's a charnel smell in the air. The skeletons still hang. The ruins are long since grown cold. This is something that happened maybe even as long as a year ago. What's the
I'm
party?
feeling less welcome here.
Well, if we're definitely in a place to find a possible Setite, I think we're in the right area.
I wish I brought
Definitely.
my other outfit.
This would have been the perfect place for it.
Well, there's not much we can do here for the dead or these places in this current juncture. Let's just continue with what we're doing right now.
I say to the tavern. I look down, make sure that my holy symbol is covered.
Yes, Dahrian, the camel merchant may have been correct about hiding your symbols.
Yeah.
And can I throw my Eye of Mitra in your bag?
Oh yeah, of course. No more brownie whispers.
You make your way out and around onto the main street, and then up into the upper city. This was obviously once a nicer part of town. The buildings are more elegant, the stonework is a little bit finer, there's decorations here. But it looks as though there's been battle in the streets recently. There are scars showing on a number of the doors. You can see that everyone is moving around cautiously. This part of town, there are still people moving about, but they look guarded. The dress is fairly fine. They could pass for certainly wealthy merchants, possibly even nobles. But everyone is keeping clear of one another, careful not to bump into their neighbors. Not a lot of conversations happening, not a lot of jocularity. Everybody's on edge. As you come marching through, they give you a wide berth. More so even than perhaps your unusual sizes and shapes would dictate. Further up the roadway, you can see that there's a bit of a parting in the crowd. People, obviously opening up to allow folks to march through. And you can see their guards. They've got that same helmet, that same serpent symbol on their shield, and everyone's kind of making way, trying to get out of the way. People are ducking into houses, corners, just to not be on the street with them as they pass. Sandstone Tavern's just a little ways up there. You could definitely make it if you gave a little bit of haste before they crossed your way, or you could wait for them to come by. What's the party doing?
All of my attempts to run by something have failed. So I might wait for them to pass.
Sure.
Assuming that's what the party wants to do. Because he would probably follow the party.
I'm
You act like new tourists. Just here for the day.
Yeah.
Okay. The guards continue to march. People continue to scatter. So I think what I heard was the party's just going to play it casual. We're just tourists here like everybody else. And so could I have two questions? The first is anyone wearing any silver jewelry or other items that might catch the attention, or anything that looks a lot like silver? We certainly talked about coins and asked about it, but could I ask you to check your descriptions and check your items, and just make sure you're not thinking that you would have any obvious silver bits out and about?
Does my hair count?
No. But if you've got like a silver, headband holding it back, then yes. Blitz, I don't think any of your bits that I've heard you call out are silver. But
yeah, I was just thinking he might use his magical tinkering, which I never use. It's level 1 ability. But to make like a little scrolling text display till he can put on his chest that says "not made of silver." Yeah, it'll just kind of scroll. Just saying that.
I'm 5160 steel.
0% silver. Or yeah, it'll do a breakdown of the alloys and metals that he ever used to create him, and none of them are silver.
Dahrian, anything that you might have on about you that would be a silvery?
Yeah, I was just scrolling through everything. I do not think so. I mean, my holy symbol being hidden, but my holy symbol just says holy symbol. It doesn't say it's a silver holy symbol or anything. So,
and so long as you've hidden it, this would be just the whoops, we forgot about those silver earrings that we put on, or something along those lines. So with that all done, then what I just need everybody to do is give me your choice of a stealth if you're going to be hiding, a deception if you feel guilty about this, or a persuasion if you feel honest about this. And the DC that we want to see from everybody is just a 10. We would like to see more passes than fails.
What was the first one you said?
Sure. Stealth if you're hiding. Deception if you feel guilty. Like if you think like, no, we don't belong here. I'm obviously wrong. Persuasion if you honestly feel like I am a tourist.
I argue for performance.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable here. So it's a deception.
You got it. So I got a deception or persuasion. I don't think performance, because I didn't hear call attention to myself. I heard we're disguising ourselves.
I'm a very honest guy.
You're a very honest guy. You got it?
It was not an inaccurate description. We are here for the day, and we are sightseeing.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I am
All right.
of the normal variety.
So I think I see 4 passes. They give you a little bit of a, side eye as they're moving through, but they don't see any silver. They don't see any immediate thing to hassle you. You're not kind of getting up in their faces. You do notice among them, guard minion. That one is definitely a fiend. It's just too big. It's in its bronze. It's got its shield. It's moving along through them. So out of the 5 of them, one of them is infernal in nature, just kind of making its way through the town. They pass by, and the way to the Sandstorm Tavern is clear.
This place is worse than the last one.
You think they also have a deep underground network spanning many dungeons that will take us months to accomplish?
Yes, but I think it's all above ground.
Shit.
They're out in the open.
They're not hiding a damn thing.
Yeah, I do not like this one bit.
What do you think the snake in the pit is? Now that has me intrigued more than ever.
Could be I don't know. We fought large beasts of set before.
We fought suns, we fought
Was the bear
hydras.
not the silver eater?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Was,
no, he was corpses.
I made an incorrect assumption.
Was
was
the
a
mention
Tann
of the
eater.
Yeah. Was when they were mentioning about the snake eater, did they, or like the merchant, was it spoken of in a way that like suggested it has been there even before the revolts, or is it like a recent inhabitant?
Within the last year. So he seemed to indicate that the serpent in the pit was instrumental to the overthrow that Skavet led against the previous establishment. So it was part of that riot when that beast took residence in the pit.
It
Could
seems
be
like.
some... Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. I'm trying to remember exactly what the thing looked like, but that corpse eater was kind of like
head.
a big serpent, right?
6
Like
legs, crocodile head.
Oh, so it was more like a Bahir.
Kind of. But it wasn't here.
Similar.
We firmly
But larger,
established
I
when we
believe.
saw it.
and a little
Yes.
more drippy, if I
Yes,
remember
the
right.
The Eater of Corpses was much less put together. The Behir looks like something that could or should be alive. The Eater of Corpses looks like more like someone took pieces of things and put them together, and then held them together with ichor. And hey, everybody! Thanks for the raid, Marbanya. Thanks for the swing by. Let's see if we can give you a quick shout out here.
But yes, Dahrian, this place is absolutely horrible in every facet of the word. What a great detour idea I had, guys. Wasn't this great? We could have just walked all the way to the undead village and probably have a lot better time than this. This place sucks.
We could just like leave and go.
We could.
The detour that my players are referring to is we are playing through the Chosen Sons of Set, which is 3 modules that they added to the Dark Tower as part of the re-release. I set them up for one and they headed to another one instead. So we are now in the Coils of the Serpent in the city of Mugdad. And the party has just made their way up to the Sandstorm Tavern. That Sandstorm Tavern rises 3 stories above the street. A simple placard with its name hangs above the entrance, and a few patrons can be seen enjoying food and drink through the building's front windows.
Before we enter, I should probably point out the camel merchant's advice thus far has not been prudent. It seems he's leading us into one dangerous place after another, almost getting Tann eaten and the rest of us crushed by a statue. This tavern may not be friendly.
That's
My
true.
experience in the many taverns I visited, none of them are friendly.
You don't tip
I wish
well, do you?
Andry were here.
I like to count my change.
It may be a good idea before we go in to stop by the stables and see if maybe they didn't just steal all of our stuff. Or if they actually brought the stuff here.
That's a good call. Andry might be very upset if
They-
he found out we lost all his horses.
Yeah. We just gave them everything and then went down a path with
Yeah.
to be eaten.
Now that
Wow.
you mention it, it does kind of defy logic that they would put the horses there under our names while we're crawling through a sewer to get here.
Yeah, we really did make some really not good touristy decisions.
We followed the shady man to his back alley entrance. What could possibly go wrong?
This seems alright. He
Not
said
like-
he's gonna park and wash the horses. What's wrong?
Or he's gonna take them into the mines to have them slaughtered! Like he said, there's a mine here!
In spite of your suspicions, when you do check in into the barn, your horses and camels are there as expected.
Okay.
Perhaps sending us through there was a test to see our prowess. If we stopped to get if we made it this far, then maybe he would feel that he picked the right people.
Perhaps. That may be the case. Or he could just not know altogether. Perhaps we'd have to talk to him and just surprise him. And just say, hey Pog, what the fuck was that?
Could go either way.
Sorry, I am very harsh with my language. I seem empty in a sense.
It would be good to know if he knew that stuff is there. I guess.
One thing is certain. Bog's motives are inscrutable.
That is true.
Well, we made it this far. Who's up for a drink? I'll pay the first one.
Drink,
That sounds
bath, asleep, in a bed, hopefully. Or at least a bunch of pillows.
There better not be any statues.
Yeah.
In here.
No statues.
No suspicious looking people telling us to go into their dad's house.
Yes.
We've done some weird things. I think a bath sounds really nice right now.
Mm-hmm.
Bath is a wonderful idea. There's so much sand in my boots.
And as you're sort of saying it's be great, you wander, you make your way in, and you see up on the wall, Sandstorm Tavern's famous hot sand baths, and you make your way in there. On the way in, there are some people eating and drinking here. They seem to be enjoying the food. The food is upscale, but it's obvious that the portions are not large. So it's still presenting as an upscale in a tavern, but everything looks like it would not fill the plate like you would expect it to at the moment. A few minutes after you enter, a human man walks up to you, and I am Pasif. Welcome to my tavern. Rather exceptional guests. Are you sure you can afford it here?
How much is it?
I imagine we all look to each other and just
Yeah.
Unless you're asking
Yeah.
for silver, yes.
Oh, no. Silver is confiscated. We won't find any within the establishment. Skabath has been quite confirm on that. It was better in the old days, but the old days are past now. It will be 1 gold for the evening, another should you wish food, and another should you wish drink. 3 gold would get you supplied throughout the day. How many of you will be staying in for how many nights?
How much for a bath?
Included with the bed are famous hot sand baths.
Do you have any with water?
Why would you bathe in water?
I just cast Prestidigitation on Tann and just realized I can just do... There you go, buddy.
Oh shoot, I can do that too.
Boop, boop, boop. Just... Yep.
Sand really grinds my gears.
Of course. It's rough.
And Pesef will give you a wonderful explanation of the benefits of a hot sand bath. And, the exfoliating nature, the cleansing, the not having to, spend the time waiting to dry out. But if you do insist on water, of course we can make do. We have exceptional guests here.
Big Electrum?
Electrum. The Devil's Coin. No.
Yes, that one.
No.
I will bestow upon him 1 platinum piece and 2 gold.
1 platinum piece and 2 gold. Taken and accepted. That would be 12. That would make 4 nights. You got it?
Oh, this is
or
I'm paying
one
for
night.
everybody.
Oh, you're paying for
one night for
okay.
everybody.
Yes, okay.
Pay for the party.
Excellent. And
Did say I was paying. Did say I was paying.
And he shows you about the tavern. He gives you a quick tour of the tavern, and this is where you can eat and drink. We have a lovely bar. Frequently we'll have entertainment there. The baths are over here, and then he sort of leads you outside and around for a moment to where houses are connected. It looks like some of them have maybe been recently emptied of their occupants, and he's showing you about them. This looks more like it used to be somebody's home than it is part of the inn. But he shows you about, and these will be your rooms, and here, and here, and here. And I do hope you enjoy the accommodations.
Wow, you have some great real estate out here.
Yes, I was fortunate to come out ahead in the recent turmoil.
Seems many didn't.
No, more's the pity.
Could you tell us anything about that? We're actually from farther out west. We're coming here like we're going to do a whole grand tour kind of thing. We were actually, yeah.
You've come upon us in a bit of a rough time. Our long-term governor, Thurikad, has been deposed by Skabet, a follower of Set. Now, with such a influence, I do not think the city will rise to prosper when the Sphinx rulers come again. But we will make do in the meantime. They do leave us to our own devices for the low cost of coin.
Did he pretty much say he has to pay for protection, is what he's saying?
He's
That's the lingo I heard?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's paying exorbitantly for protection, is what he's implying.
We were told that a quiet war is being fought on your soil. Is this true?
And he sort of gives you like a blink, blink, blink. Could I get a... let's maybe call that investigation? Persuasion? What would you want? What angle would you call that inquiry? Investigation with a really good roll. And he's sort of like gestures you forward. He leans in. Well, you see, my metallic friend, there are many who would stand in opposition. Those who remain faithful to the Sphinx Emperors and look forward to their reign, to Anchoret and her lineage. The cult of Set is a abomination, a distraction from what's true. It will hold us back in the future. There are many who recognize this and would take up arms, but, well, already a rebellion has been raised, and unfortunately, many in the upper city fell. If you have been through the near the palace, you may have seen what came of the temples and that rebellion. Skabet's forces are thorough and plentiful.
Would you venture an estimate as to the ratio of followers of the Sphinx versus followers of Set in this area?
Well, I would say that there would be more followers of Anchoret, but suppressed and without power. We are distant from our rulers. Anchoret has been long gone from this land, though we look forward to their return. Set is common.
Are the followers of Set immortal in this place?
Immortal? No.
If you were to
I've
strike
seen-
one down, would they rise again?
No. What an odd question.
This helps.
They've
This is the first good news I've heard all day.
It really is, isn't it?
and he just sort of like I've heard a curious tale that followers of Skabet, those who would give themselves to her fully, if she finds you worthy, she'll transform you into one of her serpent minions. You may have seen them marching about in the bronze armor with the shields, but if you are unworthy, it's said she'll turn you to stone.
Oh.
Huh.
Have you witnessed her do this?
Not personally, no. I myself don't believe that. I don't think there would be such a way to transform someone. I think those beings are something else, though I have personally seen statues, and I suspect what it is that Skabet is counseled by a Medusa, likely the true monster behind the cult of Set. Mirrors were removed from the palace, a good sign that there's a Medusa about, lest she catch her own reflection.
That would match the snake motif.
Yes, the hair, the tail.
What is this creature that it resides in this pit that seems to desire silver? This seems very odd.
Ah, the death pit, where once our balms were made. I was fortunate not to see the serpent when it struck, only to know that it is down there. Some who have seen the sacrifices say that the pit is a portal straight to the hells. Any who enter it are doomed never to return. I think there may be some truth to that. I suspect those creatures in the bronze armor are of the hells.
What?
Hmm?
Fine. Good. Mm-hmm. What an interesting observation.
Oh no, you already answered that. Hmm.
And as the conversation's ongoing, things are happening. Those of you who've accepted your hot sand baths have gotten your hot sand baths. Those of you who refuse get your water.
Oh, are we in
Food is
our
laid
room?
out.
Oh, good.
No, you're sort of moving about the place at the moment. So he's offered you the bath, he's offered you food, shown you where to come for the food and drink. There's no food in your rooms, so you would come down to the eating place and then head back to your rooms. The rooms are nicely furnished. They look like at one point they were a high-ranking merchant, low-ranking noble's home. So the bedding is quite nice. It's maybe been used a few times more roughly recently, but you each have your own room and, you know, most of a building to yourselves.
Once out of earshot or telepathically, one or the other, out of so that the bartender doesn't hear us, or the innkeeper. What's it say? This one's motives seem to be at odds with our employer. Would you agree?
Yes.
You think you could just be a one big setup?
Or
He
that they're
speaks
unrelated.
boldly, given the circumstances.
Could be another test.
I worry that he may be trying to discover where our loyalties lie. In which case, I may have given up a little bit too much there, and I apologize.
No.
I mean, you didn't say we murdered all the followers of Set in the village, so that's a good start.
It's true.
And if we're looking for this, for the previous governor, I mean, if he was inquiring where our loyalties lie, I don't think anything would be given away. I mean, if we were trying to come across leaning a different way, it might, you know, he may know where the previous governor is, if he's kind of part of a resistance or whatever, so perhaps we're getting on the, you know, its good side, I suppose.
Any of you have any means of peering into someone's mind at all?
No, but I could do this, and I pull out the scribe, the crystal ball.
The scrying ball?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, you're a genius.
And I will cast scrying on the tavern keeper.
I'm
See
gonna.
if he is talking to anybody or anything of that nature, or if he's just going about, you know, doing
Just
what he does. I mean,
As insurance, just
if he's going to the bathroom, I'll go ahead, cut it. You know, give him his privacy.
Cut the feed.
He looks down and sees a pile of silver coins. Oh,
Right. Yeah.
sorry, if you don't mind, I'd like to put up the dome just in case.
Sure.
So the scry will have to happen outside of the dome, but other than that, sure, no problem. Scrying, how long does that last? Was the duration?
I can cast it repeatedly, but I believe. Let me double check. I can basically I cast scrying. Let's see if it's in my spells. It is from the crystal ball. That's nice.
I don't know if that helps. I tried to display it. But it's kind of
concentration up to 10 minutes. And then
Okay.
I can just keep, I can just repeatedly keep casting it, so.
You got it, and okay, got it. So yeah, you track the tavern owner throughout the evening. Most of the time is spent, just dealing with clientele, delivering food and drink, welcoming people, trying his best to sell, people on staying. But it seems like you are the only guests at the moment, and at least the only ones taking a room, and that the top 2 floors of the tavern are actually apartments for rent. You see him go in and out of some of those, sort of like, just make sure everything looks good. But for some reason, he did not put you in those rooms. He put you in sort of the adjunct wing, the house next door. He, goes about his business. He lays down to rest for a little while, goes about his business. He has a lot of sort of shady-seeming conversations that are given in very poorly concealed code. The Sphinx Empire shall rise again. Keep on keeping on. That sort of stuff, and I will pass this message along for you, sorts of things. But it seems like grade school note passing level. He doesn't have a gift for this, so it seems like a sort of obvious hotbed in here, but at the same time it seems a little harmless. Like you see the minion of Set, walk past, look over, one of the thugs comes up and collects, a bag of coin and then moves on. But on this first evening, no obvious hints of what he might be concealing, other than, this is a gathering point, or a rabble-rousing point, but maybe not a pitchforks and torches kind of place.
Right, but it does seem like this is actually a place that more people that are for the previous governor might be gathering. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Which, this is probably why, I think it's kind of an open secret that perhaps that's what this place is, and that's why why Zog sent us here.
Hey, Dahrian, how often do you say you can cast that scrying from your ball?
Repeatedly.
Well, there are some pretty big names we've heard about in this place. Perhaps a check in on them.
That could be a good idea.
I will do that.
I have heard
I'll check on Zog.
that detect such things.
Say what?
I have heard of magics that detect such things.
Yes, there are ways to thwart this spell. I would think that perhaps the current governor would have such things, but likely many of the mid-level peoples or whatever would likely not.
If you scryed a Medusa, would it turn you to stone?
Probably.
This is something that arcane professors have been studying for years.
But no one is willing to try.
Were I to make a guess from the little that I know of Medusas, I don't know if it's just looking at the face of a Medusa can turn you to stone, or if there is something where they have to activate such things, if they can turn it on or off, or any of this kind of stuff. If it's something that's always going, if you scryed a Medusa, you would likely get turned to stone. If the Medusa did not know that you were there and it was something that was active, you would likely be okay. But I don't want to test that theory.
I heard of a shadow play once. Something about a guy named Percy Jackson or something, who was trying to find a Medusa in some sort of, like garden of statues and stuff, and he had this weird like handheld device to look at it. It was really bizarre. Somehow it's still a lightning bolt or whatever.
Can you tell me that story for bedtime?
And as the
I will
bedtime stories are
such a
being
thing.
shared, Dahrian scrying checks in on Zog, and you can see him, counting out his piles of silver, and he's got those tucked away in chests underneath, under lock and key. He's relaxing out in his tent. The guards have fetched him some food and drink from inside, and he's happily enjoying his time. Checking around the rest of the city, there are definite blank spots. The palace itself seems to resist any attempt for you to scry within it. It seems as though that one of the several devices that proof against divination have been seen there. You check in on Andry. He's playing with a griffin, and it's from there. Other than that,
I would want to check in that chamber where we killed the Tahir and see if you still have a dead Tahir laying there, or if there's activity, if people are checking on it.
No activity so far, just a dead Tahir.
Okay.
Whatever condition you left it.
I think that can work on the fella that we're trying to look for.
That's what I was curious about.
I could try.
Cleric.
We know a
hard.
name.
You don't seem to have like his fingernail or something in your possession, do you?
I don't think so.
Blitz, do you have something like that?
I haven't had an opportunity to sample him.
Yeah, the less I know about the person,
Oh.
And so,
however, it looks like we might have picked up on him.
No. So, what you've managed to try to do is you've tried to reach out, but you are getting immediate resistance. He is protected in some fashion.
Okay.
So you are able to tell that you were guessing in the right direction, but he is under some form of protection.
All right.
It is similar but different to any time you attempt to scry murky.
Oh, murky.
Did Andry take Murky?
Probably.
Most likely.
Because Murky would not have survived that lightning blast, is all I'll say.
Poor little pup.
I'm pretty sure he was in Andry's backpack, so...
Fully insulated backpack.
Yeah.
It's a rubber backpack.
Crystal ball's handy dandy. I will say that. I'm tired. I'll say it's time for bed.
As the day passes into night, sunset falls, and you can see everybody is quick to get off the streets. The tavern empties out early. Everyone seems to be wanting to be at home before darkness falls. When it does, you perhaps get a hint as to why. Could I have everybody give me a perception check? Dahrian, you're the first to spot it. Moving through the streets, giant crocodilian beasts. And hey, Guild Superior, thanks for the raid. Nice to see you. We are playing some Dark Tower, working our way through the Chosen Sons' set at the moment. And the party has just been told that in the evenings, the streets of Mugdad are overrun with giant crocodilian beasts.
Can't see what's out there.
Really dark.
There are strange beasts. I'm assuming looking for food. They sort of look like, I don't know, crocodiles? Lizards of some kind?
Like corpse eater, or
Does it kind of look like that a little bit?
No, these
But
look
smaller?
these look like they could legitimately be crocodiles, though they've come a long way from the river.
Oh, so they are very like
They're
animal looking, not like fiendish or like.
They just look like
monstrous?
crocodiles just going down the street. They're biggins, though.
Are they moving in any kind of formation, or is it like
No,
more like just swarming?
just they seem to be making their way through the streets, but you're fairly certain you didn't remember any rivers going through the town. There was walls all around the town. They're just crocodiles.
well, they have to be coming from somewhere. I didn't see any crocodiles walking into the city.
From the sewers, maybe.
It's a sewer crack.
My guess is they're released on purpose. As a, perhaps a curfew enforcer or something.
Did we hear about a curfew?
I would say no, because I think you sort of isolated yourselves after the initial introduction. I think you were doing more spying than you were talking for the later half of the day.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this would be a question for passive in the morning.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
Are you aware of the giant crocodiles that roam at night?
yeah. I'm sure everybody is. And when you say everybody gets off the streets, you're talking guards, everybody. Right?
There's nobody out on the streets except these crocs. At least not in the area that you are able to see from here.
Yeah, just at every level, this place is worse than the last place that we were at.
It just keeps getting weirder.
This is bad news.
How many crocodiles do we see? I mean, if we could estimate their number.
Well, you've probably either seen 12 or the same one 12 times.
Any coming into near our area?
There's some that pass down the street, but it's a little surreal probably for your characters. Like you've seen like rats act this way, kind of moving from shadow to shadow, making their way through. It's like if you replaced rats with giant crocodiles.
Huh.
They probably help with the rat problem.
Most likely. Very few rats in this town.
Just giant crocodiles
pieces
death
of good
rolling
news.
some rats.
Well,
What is our plan? Do we have one?
No, not really.
Well, I
Bad.
guess based on our current predicament, I think finding this Terry fella might be a good place to start.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like If they claim he's such an Iron Fist ruler, I wonder how bad or easier it was than what it is right now.
Yeah. Yeah. The more I'm here, the more I'm down for looking for the Thericald guy. What is his name?
Parents.
Rick God.
Tharikad. Tharikad.
Every time. This name.
Harry.
Oh,
Name.
Tharikad.
Darikad.
He sounds like it looks like he stole my name and just rewrote the letters.
And added more.
It added more. He said it's like if you take someone's article of work and say, okay, just change a couple of things, and then he made that. Because that's just my name. And then card at the end of it.
He tried.
Kids these
Yeah.
days.
And so the evening
I hope our
passes.
animals are safe.
Shit.
I'm reassembling Echo as we speak.
You hear no distress noises from the horses or the camels.
Okay. Good.
Eventually, the party gains the benefits of a long rest from within their little bubble. Please go ahead and restore hit points and spells and such things. At some point late in the evening, the crocodiles retreat. Patrols resume. You can see the guards and the occasional minion of Set moving about. And then dawn creeps up.
Alright, who's paying for it today, or is it me again?
I could pay
I
this
will
one.
pay.
I'll help out this one.
Sure. One
I'm not a big
platinum,
fan
2
of their
gold.
small plates.
Yeah.
I will supersize your order, Dahrian.
That'd be fantastic. That'd be fantastic.
Blitz just slides his plate onto your plate. And so, Pasef greets you in the morning. Come on down. Would love to have you in for breakfast.
What, last night we saw a bunch of what appeared to be crocodiles or something roaming the streets. What is the deal with that?
That's been happening ever since Tharikad was overthrown. I see it as a sign of disfavor from the Sphinx Emperors that the crocodiles would emerge to threaten the streets in the evenings.
Are the crocodiles aligned with the sphinxes?
No, they more often stand in contest to them, according to some others' beliefs. And therefore, I think as a sign of disfavor, they are being allowed to prowl.
Ah, I see.
Oh, kind of a slap in the face to the Sphinx rulers that the current rulers let these crocodiles run loose. Is that what you're saying?
I was thinking more of the Sphinxes were allowing them loose as a sign of their disfavor, but I could see it going the other way. I hadn't considered that. I will have to pray on it.
If I may say, you speak rather boldly against the followers of Set. Do you have some sort of protection from them?
No more than any other. My
Do you not
strong
fear
arm
being
and
hung
he
up on a
sort of
stake?
taps his not very strong arm. Say it again.
Do you not fear being hung from a stake?
I do, but one cannot live their life in fear. Through coin and careful wording, I'm able to maintain my place here in society, and I encourage those who might not have as much to risk or have more skill of arm. I myself am deft with a knife in the kitchen, but not a knife in the back. What of yourselves? You do not seem to be carrying the banner of the serpent.
Dahrian is very deft with the knife in the kitchen.
That is true.
Well, there's not much room in my kitchen, but I do wish you well for it.
Well, we are still relatively new-ish to the city. Any places we should go, avoid?
Well, I would say that depends on what you wish to do here. Are you here for employment, for goods, for trade, for travel, for leisure? And he sort of starts prying into the reasons you might visit.
Well, we're mainly here to get some supplies before we finish our way. I mean, it's a long hike through the desert, I'm being honest with you.
What's
Well,
it? Sorry, I'm putting
we
my.
were heading north to Thannis. Thannis, is that right?
Yep. Dennis.
I think that's right.
I think
Thannis.
so.
Thannis.
Dennis. I think it's Thinis.
Yeah.
Well, supplies are a bit dear, but I'm sure you can find them. Little of our balm remains, but I believe there are still some stores set about. If you plan to leave, I wish you well in your travels. If you think to stay, I encourage you to involve yourselves in the politic.
I've heard multiple mentions of this bomb. What is it? Apparently it was a major thing here.
Yes.
And why has it disappeared? Or stopped being made?
Holwa, you see, was a salve that was made from fermented fruit and a extract from one of the insects in the area. It was great for many number of things. It smelled sweet, fragrant, acted as a perfume, was a salve, smooth-skinned, could heal small cuts and wounds. It was quite amazing. But the area where it was created opened up into an enormous sinkhole where that serpent now dwells. Most who knew the secret of its creation died that day, and the facilities in which it was created were damaged or swallowed up entirely. As I understand it, few who could start its production once more are keeping mum on the subject, and there's little chance to research what was once done. Such is the way of secretive trades.
And this happened a year ago?
Yes. When Tharkad was overthrown and Skabet rose to power.
Where is this former district? Or the sinkhole, or the death pit, as you called it?
It is away to the east, and he will lead you up to the top of the tavern and sort of point out.
This balm, was it traded out of the city elsewhere? Was it a lucrative operation, business?
Oh, yes, it was, excuse me, I just pointed to the wrong spot. Right over here. Where it says Death Pit. It was traded in small quantities outside of the city, but generally it was a draw. People would come here for it. They would take away small quantities and then sell it. There was never a great deal of trade in it. It wasn't a commodity good. It was refined and elegant. And unfortunately, that refinement did lead it to be fragile.
I'm just trying to figure out why the new ruler would wish it to not continue to bring people here unless the new ruler purposefully wishes people to stay away.
I cannot understand Skabet's thinking, but such is the way of unjust rulers.
I also heard mention of a mine in the just off to the north. Is it like a? I don't expect it to be a silver mine now. Like, what is it? It's an ores, coal, gold.
Some gems, primarily copper, I believe they are pulling out of that nowadays. Though those mines are lesser in use. Most of our valuable ores came down from the mountains of the Fifth Prince, further to the north and east. North and east, yes.
Alright, one more question and I'll stop bothering you.
Oh, it's...
Do you have a residential mage in town perhaps I could talk to? Someone with more higher end arcane ability?
There were several. Give me a moment to consider who remains.
Well, you see, I also like to kind of like make little something called not like shortcuts or waypoints, but like in case I want to come back here and say like, oh hey, I like to do business here. I'm gonna go meet my friend. But like, hey, I could come meet you for like a weekend and say, hey, how's it going? And we can like best buds and we can have a drink, or I'll have a drink and you work because you got to pay for the place. But like, you know what I mean, right? Like a vacation spot.
I am afraid you've lost me. But
I want to do wizard things with the wizard.
The way that you just spoke did remind me of Falik. He's a sage, a tiefling. The bit with the horns, you see. He has a bookshop of sorts, just a bit south of here, over beyond Temple Row. And he gives you directions, and that would be down hereabouts. Off Temple Row.
Poor guy lives near Temple Row.
Yep. Just kind of.
We also are near Temple Row too, to be fair.
Are we still in Temple Row?
We're just north of it.
You're just
north right here.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, okay.
You could, over the top of like, 3 rows of buildings, you can then see, occasionally just like a little skeleton swinging in the breeze.
Gotcha. I think I misinterpreted like the distance.
It is a big city, but where you're in the upper city, which is kind of on the rise. So from a 3-story, you can kind of look down on the rest of the city. The palace is still a little up from you, but you've got the elevation at the moment.
Gotcha.
It was said that Shadar-kai ruled with an iron fist. Is this true? I believe I heard that.
I'd say he ruled as is appropriate for a ruler of his status. He kept control in the city. The lower class could become discontent, as many would, but he had the blessings of Anchoret. I think many have recognized that what they thought was an iron fist was simply a stern hand, now that they've seen what true tyranny is like.
I will not have any opinion on that matter.
I wonder.
Yes.
Should we ask directly? He may know where Shadar-kai is. or be able to pass word from us to him on our behalf?
Let's say, ask him how he thinks of us first.
What do you think of us?
Wow, he was straight up with it. I should. Yeah, what? Never mind.
And he just sort of like looks at you, like searching for like some sign in your expression of what you're trying to ask, and just seeing sort of like your
What
metal,
expression?
yeah, like your metal gaze. It's like I'm not sure what you mean. Are you coming on to me?
I am not.
Then what is it you seek to know from me?
Do you find us trustworthy?
I suppose so. Your coin has been good, and I see no reason to doubt you. Why? Have you some secret or ill purpose?
I do not.
Well, that is good, then.
To be frank,
How was that?
you did a fantastic job. Keep it up, Blitz.
Well done. Well done.
To be fair, I'm not really I would say, a huge fan of... Let's just say my first impressions of your lovely city are not great. We got hassled at the gate immediately about our silver. And there's still literally corpses swinging from rafters of fallen religions. And crocodiles roaming the streets at night. I'm not really a huge fan. Say.
Fiends walking the streets as guards.
Yes, I agree. Things have taken a decided downturn since Skabet rose to power, but I have heard that Therikad has sent out a call, summoning adventurers and heroes to come and liberate the city and return it to his rightful rule once more.
I'm trying to look for any sort of waver in his speech, any sort of hiccup. I think we all are, because we're just like, we gotta know.
All right, what are you looking for confirmation or denial of?
He truly is opposed to Skabeth's rule. And I just think this is an act of saying, oh yeah, for the Sphinx. Oh, like, because we're all thinking that we're being double set up by this guy.
Sure.
He said,
Go ahead and give me an insight.
I was the wrong one to do this. I have a 0. Hey, that's
Did
pretty good.
though. Pasef fervently believes that Tharikad should be brought back to power, and he believes that he is doing what he can to make that happen, which seems to be just kind of that grade school, let's take over the world kind of conversation. So he likely has contact with either Therikad or Therikad's forces. How much they might trust him, you would seriously doubt. Like, he is not a super secret spy level kind of confidant.
He's the bartender that knows a couple things.
He's the bartender that knows a couple of people and will let you in the bar. It will let you have your meeting. He'll open the door and let you into the secret room, but maybe he doesn't get told all the secrets because he kind of talks a lot. You've got him made pretty well there.
Should I add him to our DMs?
This is a good idea to hear. Although
You
we will
got it.
not be able to exclude him henceforth, is this true?
The spell really doesn't say anything on that, so I'm not sure.
Can we kick him from the chat after?
Some would give him 1 hour.
But every time he leaves the chat, everybody gets a notification.
Yeah, so has left the chat. They're doing it for everyone.
Stop it, please.
Hit the button that says "Do not notify," please. They added that button. Why aren't you using it? So is he being brought into the loop?
I trust
All
you.
right. Here's the thing. If we're gonna do that, I think what we need to do is be 100% honest. We need to let him know that we wiped out the cult of Set and the Tower of Set in Mitra's fist, and basically we are on a mission to eliminate Setites pretty much wherever we go, and we would love to get an audience with Tharadik or whatever the guy's name is. Tharakat.
I trust your judgment.
Huh?
I trust your judgment.
All right, so
I'm down to try.
He's getting dropped. He's sneaking into the DMs.
I will
Sliding in.
pretty much tell him. Perhaps we could have some discussion in our chambers.
Okay.
And now it's his turn to be scared and stare at us to make insight checks.
He's like, "Are you coming on to me?"
I am. I would like you in my DMs.
And he's just like, "We don't offer that particular service here, but I can point you to a couple of lovely individuals." But he will.
None of which are. Lee says the name. Stay away from her. She's bad.
Militia?
Yes.
I'm not familiar with that name. No.
Good. Don't.
Okay.
Bad news.
But you lure him into your boudoir, and then invite him into the DMs, and he, after explaining things to him, says, "Well, I'm delighted that the Sphinxes have seen fit to point you in this direction, and certainly the cult of Set could use to be struck down here. They've disrupted the rightful power of the place. I apologize, I have communications with Tharakad, but I do not know specifically where he is. I believe you are to seek him at the shrine of Amun Tor, but despite my years here, I am not familiar with that shrine, nor do I know where he would be within it. To the best of my knowledge, all the temples and shrines were burned or destroyed."
Do any of us know of
Yeah,
that? Is it a god? A deity?
Sure.
I'm putting on the wizard thing.
Putting on the wizard think. How about a history or a religion?
I have history or religion. I have both, so.
Sure.
Hey,
That's pretty good.
this will
That's
consult his,
pretty bad.
This is a name I'm not familiar with.
This is a name with which you are not familiar with, but Blitz can
This
give
will
you a
also
little bit.
consult his primer.
Back down and check the
Yeah,
primer.
that Lord primer. You got a book from the Lord Commonwealth. It helps a little bit.
Gunk. So a 17. So Amun Tor, the Lord of Mystery, the Father of Riddles, a mystriarch amongst the god, a deity of knowledge and the unknown.
Sounds like a good one to know.
Favored by the Sphinxes, said to be the link between the Sphinxes and their beloved riddles. frequently, his temples are hidden, concealed, or, even when open, have an additional layer to them. And Lollygaggers, thanks very much for the raid. Nice to see you out there. We're playing a little D&D 5e, working our way through the Dark Tower, and our characters are in the expansion modules, the Chosen Sons of Set right now.
Well, it definitely is a lead to go on. We'll have to think about that. I mean, it's gonna be a bunch of mind games. Gonna be clever.
How do you contact Thara's when you when you need to contact him? Nobody can say this guy's name.
Tharacod.
It's part of the anti-divination magic that is protecting him. His name cannot even be spoken aloud. But Tharacod, messages will arrive. I have not seen him in person for quite some time. But I provide food and drink to those who visit, and I believe it is passed along to him.
You know what?
Dahrian said jinkies.
Jinkies.
Oh.
I have legend lore spell.
Oh.
You beautiful bastard.
Thank you. I'll need that done this evening, and I could perhaps cast that and find out where this shrine or temple is.
I may have a faster, although more gruesome, option. I could speak with the dead. If we could dig up someone who was present when the temples were here, they may be able to direct us.
You know, I know at least 4 corpses sitting just about 200 feet south of our location.
Yeah, you could certainly go visit the shrines and the temples. That stretch of road is mostly abandoned. Pasif says you just sort of keep your head down and look like you have a reason to be there, and I don't know why you would be disturbed, so I wish you the very best of luck there.
There is something you can do for me, Pasif.
Yes, of course.
Is there any way you could procure me some ivory?
Ivory? I don't have any on me, but I'm sure with a little bit of looking. And he just sort of like goes around the house for a few minutes before he comes back with like a, carved ivory tusk.
Whoa.
Wonderful.
Much easier to get.
What,
It isn't common. It comes from elephants. They're everywhere.
What do I owe you for that? I wish to purchase some.
Oh, sorry. I thought you just wanted to purchase. How much ivory did you want from him?
That's what I'll take. Can't remember.
Was it like a sliver or?
I think it's like 200 golds worth.
Oh, that's right. It's a gold amount.
Incense worth is a spell consumed, and 4 ivory strips worth at least 250 gold each. So 200 gold worth of ivory strips. So that takes them a little bit longer to procure something that can be set into strips, but after that 200 gold, and you can carve your strips down. Like it takes him a while. He finds like a waste bin that's made of an ivory and a little cane.
You just got ivory stuff laying around. Like, yeah, here you go.
This was the house of a nobleman.
True. Oh, we should have just looked around.
Awesome. Well, I will. What? Take 250 off. That was what it was.
200. 4 ivory strips,
200?
50 each. Yep, 200. Yeah, benefits of being in a big town. You can buy stuff.
Right.
Check that out.
And
33 sessions, not a single shop. Finally, we're in a town.
I know,
And
it's like my mind's not ready for it.
And 50 gold pieces worth of incense as well.
250 gold pieces worth of incense for legend lore, if I'm reading correctly. And so the 250 worth of incense does get burned up. The ivory strips do not, so you do have to expend 250 each time you do it. Incense, he's got in spades.
Right. All right, I will remove that. And I will. I don't know how much time it takes to get all of that, but if we wanted to do anything while this stuff was being gotten throughout the day, but that evening, I think I can do the legend lore spell and see where this hidden shrine of Amun-Tor would be located.
How do you spell that? Is that A-M-U-N-T-O-R?
A-M-U-N space T-O-R.
Yeah.
I spelled it right the first time. This is
Well
great.
done.
This is the
Yeah, me
first.
too.
And so a day passes, a little bit of relaxation, a little bit of scouting around and listening things, and then eventually a legend lore. And as the legend lore completes, your attention is drawn southward to a building behind Temple Row, located to the north here, with a big arrow pointing toward it, which says Part 2, Ruined Shrine, which is
look at
indicating that there is a temple of Amun-Tor there. Now, the legend lore gives you stories of people discovering this almost by accident, but when in time of need, they would turn a corner and find themselves confronted with a very plain-seeming door with an eye, a sign of Amun-Tor above it. Entering in, they would be faced with some sort of riddle, puzzle, or other challenge, but almost always, if they were deserving, come up with the help that they needed. This is a repeating theme that you found throughout the years. So the temple never drew many worshippers. Very few people simply showed up to pray. It tended to be found in times of need or in times of challenge, and always there when it was necessary. The building is just a building. The lore to it speaks of no real magics behind this, just a matter of convenience and people, paying attention when they need to. But it does give you clear guidance as to how to find it.
Awesome.
Excellent work, Dahrian. You beautiful, holy man, you.
Thank you.
It's Cleric.
There we go. And so with that, we have a goal for the next adventuring day. And since our adventuring evening has grown rather late, I would say that seems like a good place for you to be heading fresh and rested when we come back to the doorsteps of the Shrine of Amun-Tor, researching and looking for our good friend whose name cannot be pronounced, and slowly allowing Pasif to fall out of your channel so that you will not put each other at risk into the future. Thanks everybody for playing. Thanks everybody in the audience for coming in and hanging out. Hope you've enjoyed what we've been doing. We've been playing Dark Tower and the Chosen Sons of Set, and we will be back next week to see how they do at the Shrine of Amontor. A little bit more prep work to do. Now, I'm just going to ask, are you really heading to the shrine, or should I prep like the Death Pit or the Palace or some other place?
I think shrine.
Okay.
Shrine.
No, see shrine.
Okay.
Sticking to it, shrine.
Sticking
Although
to
the
it.
Death Pit. No, I'm
But
just kidding.
also
Shrine.
Death Pit.
I wish to teleport into the death pit.
Into the Death Pit. I mean, there's the Desert Ward, and there's the Sweet Ward, and the Coin Ward. All these wards that you could go to. Hang on.
Let's do that after we meet with this guy.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think there's probably going to be a number of tasks he will have for us. So
These are things. All right, cool. Looks like Praetor's Rejects is online. We haven't been over there in a little while. I'll toss a raid that way if I can type quickly enough. And thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll pick you up.
thank you, Raiders.
Yeah, thanks everybody for
Thank
swinging
you.
by. Praetor's Rejects. Typing is hard. Cool, cool. We'll see y'all there. Have a great night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night.
Ba-bum-bum.